Namaste and Jai Shri Krishna to all. Welcome to Path to Anandam series. Power of Karuna, kindness. Pranam to Guruji Harihar Ji Maharaj for his blessings and Bhagwan Krishna Ji for bringing us together. And thank you all of you for joining this morning. I am Satya Kalra, your host and founder of Path to Anandam. And our sessions are based on science and spirituality. Being a medical scientist, science is very, very important part of spirituality. It's basically the two sides of the coin. So we try to bring that part as well as Bhagavad Gita and other scriptures. Our session 15 today, power of Karuna, kindness, compassion, which is ultimately the path to Anandam, path to ultimate happiness, peace, Anandam. But before we go into that, we must understand what is Karuna, what is kindness, what is compassion, and why, and what is the science behind it, and what are the barriers, and how to overcome those barriers, and what are the benefits of putting all those efforts, and what are the practices we should do to enhance the quality of our life and beyond, and our Sankalpa. Kindness is my nature, my strength. And homework and tip of the day. And meditation. The mantra, I am kind, I am Karunamai. So what is kindness, Karuna, compassion? So much turmoil is going on in the world. Hatred, ego, greed. And we are also impacted due to our senses, our desires. So learn about the kindness, Karuna, compassion. Helps us to move to next level in our life on the path of spirituality. So it is a divine quality which we have learned from Bhagavad Gita. There is a whole chapter about divine qualities. And every session, Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, there are qualities. So this is one of the divine quality which arises from heart. This is like, especially Bhakti Yoga, if you look at the Bhakti Yoga, whole thing comes from the heart. Because and this quality also arises from heart. But it is a volunteer act inspired by compassion and goodwill. So there is a goodwill behind it. And it is expressed through thoughts, words, action, whatever we do in our life, the purpose behind it, or it automatically comes that it eases the suffering and uplift of others. That's a very key point here. And it is a boundless, and since it is helps to and gives a thought of releasing the suffering of others, it's a selfless compassion and deep understanding of others' pains and struggles. And it is the foundation of humanity. kindness and compassion is the path. Without that, many places, what's happening in the world when there is missing, and is essential to human dignity and unity. That's where the separation comes. I-ness and my-ness come. I am better than you. My things are better than you. My country, my society, all that is better than you because we feel separated. But when we are one, we don't feel that. So ultimately, the kindness, karuna, and compassion is the true dharma, true action, which help us go from karma to dharma. But I thought before we go further, we should understand, because sometimes this terminology gets confusing, where sympathy, empathy, kindness, compassion, and karuna. So I just briefly prepared this. And what is sympathy? We recognize the other person's suffering, and we are concerned. We feel sad when somebody suffers, and we may offer comfort, but from a distance. Sometimes we make a phone call, sometimes, we just, it's like a short term. When we have a kisi pe daya aati hai, when there is a beggar there, we feel very sorry for them because they are standing on the corners, especially in India, and then they don't have hands and they don't have feet, and then they beg and all that. But as soon as our car moves to the next traffic light, or then we forget about them. And or we have something else, our mind gets into some other thoughts, then we forget about them. So it's like a temporary thing. We are not closely attached to them. But empathy, where we feel more about that person, we kind of share, we try to understand, but we do not take any action toward it. Deeper connection with sympathy is better than sympathy, because sympathy is just, it's a very short term. But this is the next level where we understand the person's emotions. And then the kindness comes, where the generosity, we want to do something for them. And it's also considered to be very etiquettes. A lot of etiquettes we follow, which we will discuss in the next slide. But it's again a goodwill. And we try to, these are the words which we kind of motivate people and try to uplift them. But again, it is a divine quality which leads to the karuna. But now the compassion and karuna, it's almost the same word. And in Buddhism, it is a one word, compassion and karuna. This is empathy. See, now empathy, which is a deeper connection, and then kindness. But here is the desire to help and retrieve the suffering of others. And we share our resources with them. Or we try, resources doesn't mean the money and all that, resources means our time, etc. And we try to heal, help them to heal, and continue to work with them. Because we are at the level where we are selflessly help others and see divinity in them. And that's where the karuna is basically a Sanskrit word. Karuna, there is no such word or good translation in English. Karuna is karuna, but it has a very deep spiritual meaning. It is a selfless service. It heals others, it uplifts others, and we do not judge them. Where we have a compassion for all. And I can give you a very simple example. When somebody dies, sometimes we go to funeral, and we are very sympathetic with them. But when we come back, then we kind of get involved with other activities and we feel that ab ho gaya. On empathy part, sometimes we call them, sometimes, we try to keep close relationship with them and we kind of follow up with them, how they are feeling, etc. But when it comes to kindness and compassion and karuna, then not only that, we continuously visit them, try to help them out if they need any help with the paperwork or they need more emotional support, sometimes take them for lunch or sometimes try to get them or help them through the healing process. It means we are doing some action there. And then because we are feeling, we want them to heal. So we have no judgment ki aisa kyun hua, unke sath kyun hua. So, sometimes we say, oh, karmo ka hai, whatever. No, we don't even judge them. Our focus is to bring them, especially when our close friends are there. We usually try to help them as much as possible. And that's called the karuna, compassion. So empathy is better than sympathy, but kindness, karuna, compassion is a way beyond that. So that's I hope you understand the distinction between all these four. And ultimately, we feel the one with them. We understand, and we feel their sadness, their sorrow, their loss. So what does Bhagavad Gita say about it? This is one of my favorite and many of yours favorite verse might be. Adveshta sarva bhutanam mitra karun evacha nirmamo nirankara sam dukkha sukha yami. One who is the free from malicious things toward all beings, who is friendly and compassionate. Mitra Karuna, compassionate and friendly. You know where it comes, the Mitra word is very, very, where we call friends and all that, but their Mitra word has so much deep meaning and feelings toward it, where again, it cannot be explained in English other than just a friend or friendliness. And Karuna. So here it means the Karuna, that feeling which you will have it for the true Mitra. So there is a free from possessiveness, ego, nirmamo, nirankara, and who remains even-minded in sukha, dukkha, pleasure and pains, and forgiving, shami. The devotee is very dear to me. That's where these are not just the divine qualities, but these are how to become the God's beloved. In chapter 12, Bhakti Yoga, yoga of devotion. Again, it goes to the heart. It is right in the middle of the Bhagavad Gita, which is Swamiji always said that it's your heart you have, and this comes from Bhakti Yoga. So kindness, karuna, compassion, recognize the suffering of others and wishing to relieve it. Try to help. And it is a transformative force that unites heart, bridges differences, and fosters shared humanity. But if it has so divine qualities, we all have that, then why can't we practice so much? Because sometimes we can practice and sometimes we don't. And many people don't. So what are those barriers? So the common cause for not practicing is again our ego, our self-centered thinking. And many times we judge them, unke karmo ki wajah se ho raha hai. So when we are in Rishikesh, this lot of foreigners come there. And they go on the streets and they found even a cow or dog and they try to bring them and nurture them and heal them. And sometimes they have wounds and they will give, they will take them to hospitals and all that. But at the same time, when I talk to some people who are very judgmental, especially in India, they say, karmo ka phal hai, bhugat rahe hain. So that's the distinction, that they are basically When we are judgmental, we cannot practice it. And sometimes we are so tired, we are ourselves so emotionally, so many things are going on in our life, and we forget about that. And then, of course, burnout and those negative thoughts come when we are tired. And sometimes we have a mistrust, or sometimes past hurts does not allow us to get out of that stress and anxiety. And sometimes we have a time pressure. We say we don't have time for these things. And sometimes it's a cultural thing, social conditioning, where kindness is considered to be weakness. That zyada kisi ko daya do, it's just like you are too weak that you keep doing this. But again, I put it all here. This is a very, very important one, which I repeat it in almost every presentation, that why this is stress and why these are the barriers to do anything on the path of spirituality. And the Karuna, this is a path of Anandam, path of spirituality. And again, these are the common barriers. So how to overcome these barriers? So there are some practices in daily life where we do not need much time, because many times we don't have time. So these are the normal practices we do it, and we are in the daily life we can practice, like at home. Have a more patience with others. Just listen to others. Don't be judgmental. Don't interrupt them. Just try to understand where they are coming from. And then express the gratitude. When somebody does good for you, then just say thank you. At work, we should offer our support to colleagues, because many times there are situations people spend 8 hours, 10 hours over there, and this is their another family. So we should always support each other over there and acknowledge their efforts, that how hard work they are doing. And in society, we should volunteer, do some volunteer job, selfless service, seva, and whatever we can donate, our time, our resources, we should help others. And online, which is a very big thing nowadays, sometimes messages come and they do not suit us, they do not resonate with us, and they are more political or more religious, and we become very harsh, and we immediately put our comments there. We should avoid that, and we should do it very respectfully. And at public spaces, sometimes we are going in the different places and elevators, and we should hold the doors for them, or at least give them a smile to people. A smile is the biggest divine quality one can possess, and make the another person smile automatically, which also works with the smiling part of it, oneness part, healing part, joy, happiness, whatever you name it. It's unlimited benefits of it. And it doesn't mean that we have to do it for known people, but it could do it to strangers as well. And in time of conflict, that's a big one. When we can do all these good things, but when we are upset and we are in conflict, that is the most important time. Choosing understanding over reaction. Immediately somebody says something and we respond. We don't know where this person is coming from, what's going on in that person. That person might have the bad day. Something might be bothering that person. And just sometimes people yell at us, or just they express their discontents on us, or sometimes we do it on others also. And it causes the conflict of responding immediately. So that's where the understanding part comes. And to nature, reducing harm to animals. That's where love all, serve all. Planting trees, rivers, take care of Mother Ganga, Mother Jamuna, wherever we are, even here, lakes, we should take care of them. And then to self. This is the most important one again. Self-care, self-forgiveness, where Buddha says that unless you take care of yourself, you practice kindness, karuna, compassion for yourself, then you cannot do it for others. If you don't have within you, if you don't have the money in your bank account, how could you draw the money and share with others? First, you have to have it. In other words, we must have this. And it's not a pity thing. It is a love and compassion in action. So we must practice it. So the simplest act, which Mahatma Gandhi says, simplest act of kindness are more powerful than 1,000 hands bowing in prayers and going to temples and gurdwaras and churches. Compassion overtakes everyone, other active spiritual practices. And then it says the smallest action of kindness is worth more than the greatest, with the greatest intention. So our intention is very, very important. And then here, all in summary, just one action per day. Just make it your Sankalpa that at least I will do something good, some kindness action. Express my karuna, compassion toward others. So benefits of all this. Patanjali's yoga has explained it so well that Maitri Karuna Muddato Pekshanam Sukha Dukha Punya Vishyanam Bhavna Sichitam Prasadnam. The mind becomes serene by cultivating attitude of friendshipness or Maitri. Again, it's a Maitri word. Toward the happy, compassion for suffering, joy for various and virtuous, and equanimity toward the non-virtuous. In other words, again, it comes to Maitri and Karuna, how important it is. But what it does for us, it boosts emotional well-being and happiness. It strengthens the relationship, enhances the physical health, heart, immune system, etc. Reduces stress and increases our resilience. We feel more powerful, more self-esteem, and helps spiritual growth, self-purification. Because when we practice that, our heart becomes pure. When our heart is pure, then we transform our anger, our stress, we just become very calm. And then we feel one with others. So body, mind, and soul becomes all connected. It's all wellness. And then peace within and peace with the universe. And that's where we feel the oneness with all. So healthy body, peaceful mind, and connect to the supreme consciousness, supreme power, almighty. But there is a science behind it. That's the spiritual part of it. But the science behind it, in summary, we can say it connects body, mind, and soul. For body and mind, study shows that it increases our oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins, dopamine, all these hormones. So our endocrine system becomes very active, and especially our brain part of it, all the neurosystem and these good hormones. In other words, the bad hormones, which is also comes from the stomach areas, which reduces it, and these good hormones overtakes it. And stress goes down because of this. It improves our heart health, as longevity. This is very, very important to live longer, healthy, and not only body and mind, but it connects to our soul because it reduces our ego and helps with the unity and love with others. And again, it says, Devi Sampad Vimoksha in chapter 16, verse 5. Since it is a divine quality, it takes us to moksha, liberation, oneness with all. So the beauty of Karuna heals all, both giver and receiver. So here we heal ourselves, but at the same time, we help others and the society. So it's not just that we benefit or we help others, we benefit also. It's just like my favorite example is when you turn on the light, it's not that only you are going to get the light, but others also get it and vice versa. So this is basically a summary of it, that how these barriers we can overcome by practicing and overcoming our past wounds, have a company of a kind, uplifting people, which is very important. And practice just a micro kindness, like a small act, as I said, mentioned before, and smile and listen and thank you. And be respectful of others and yourself. Don't say, I am Moork and I am those affirmation sessions we talked about it. Respect yourself as well, and forgiveness and let go. And then, of course, the benefit here, mental, physical, heart, relationships, happiness, ultimately the oneness of body, mind, and soul, and with all. Because we see God in all. As my favorite verse is here again, Yo mam pashyati sarvatra, sarvam cha mai pashyati, tasyam na pashyami, sach mein na prashyati. So tasyam na prashyami, it means I am always with that person. The person is not forgotten from me. So in other words, Bhagwanji says, who sees divinity in all, I am with them all the time. They are not out of my sight, and I am not out of their sight. And so ultimately they experience love, peace, anandam, satchit anandam. And this is the best tool to become one with supreme power and experience our true nature. And in this, doing all this, look at this, Bhagavad Gita's complete teaching comes, Karma Yoga comes because we are doing action, love and compassion, Bhakti Yoga, and we know all these things. So Gyan Yoga, and then Dhyan Yoga, of course, we live in the mindfulness of that and live in awareness. So our practice time, how this goes to oneness. Again, start our day of doing something good in the morning. Express the kindness. And that is equal to doing mantras and doing too, but one can do the mantras and with Bhagavad Gita so that it reminds us, but the kindness, as mentioned before, it's as important as all these sadhanas, yogas, pranayam, meditation, practice goodness. But during the day, compassion with mindfulness. Just one kind of action, doesn't matter which kind, just one kind action per day. And then in the evening, just evaluate your day, do your best and let go. And eventually, heart becomes pure. We transform. We realize who we are. And again, with compassion, we feel one within ourselves, with our soul, with our Atma. and then with others, and experience ultimate that who am I? I am Satchit Anand. So our Sankalpa is, I am compassionate, I am kind, and little by little our subconscious mind gets purified, step by step. And then our superconscious mind, universal mind, we are merged with that. So our homework time, again I say, Sakshi is very important, awareness is very important, but again, just a reminder that do I have a focus? Do I focus on my purpose of my life? Am I working consciously, kindly, aware of my action? And what thoughts separates me from kindness and karuna? Do I feel connected, interconnected with others? Do I have empathy? Do I have kindness toward others? And do I do my spiritual practices? And here again it says, karuna, not krurta, karuna. So let kindness and karuna shine through us through always. But inquiring about is that this path to anandam, path to self-realization. So our prayers today is Sarve bhavantu sukhina, Sarve santu niramaya, Sarve badrani pashyantu, ma kachi dukh bhag bhavet. May all beings be happy. May all be free from illness. May all see what is auspicious and noble. May no one suffer in any way. So let's all being be happy and free from suffering. So allow everyone, not just us, everyone to be happy, healthy, and peaceful. So thank you very much for attending the session, Power of Kindness, Karuna.